So hey guys, I'll be explaining the three important diagrams and the parts which you need to know so that you will understand the pathways in a better way. So if this is the transverse section of the spinal cord, you can see there is central canal here. You can see the anterior horn cells, you can see the lateral horn cells as well as the posterior horn cells. There are some important nucleus present in these cells, in the lateral horn cells, anterior horn cells, posterior horn cells, and it's quite important for you to know. So you can see here there is marginal nucleus. So why is it called as marginal nucleus? It is present on the margin side. There is a marginal nucleus. The second nucleus is called as the nucleus proprius. It is called as nucleus proprius. It is also known as the chief sensory nucleus or the primary nucleus. The nucleus proprius is located on the second area. Then you can see on the dorsal side of the anterior horn cells, you can see the nucleus dorsalis, which is also known as the Clark's nucleus. In the descending pathways, you can see many pathways where they get attached to this Clark's nucleus. So nucleus dorsalis is also known as Clark's nucleus. The another nucleus is called as the viscerant efferent nucleus. There is viscerant efferent nucleus. This was present in the anterior horn cells. If you look after the posterior horn cells, you can see the three types of nucleus or the neurons. First one is known as the alpha motor neurons, the second one is known as the gamma motor neurons, and the third one is the Wrench-Large cells. Alpha motor neurons, gamma motor neurons, and the Wrench-Large cells. I'll look after this diagram once again, I'll repeat it. So you can see the marginal nucleus. Above the marginal nucleus there is a layer called as substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. So there is a layer called as substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. You can see the marginal nucleus. After that you can see the nucleus proprius, which is known as the chief sensory nucleus or the primary nucleus. On the dorsal side you can see the nucleus dorsalis or the Clark's nucleus. On the ventral side you can see the visceral efferent nucleus. Remember, it has dorsalis for dorsal side. On the ventral side it is visceral efferent nucleus. You can see the three types of cells, that is alpha motor neurons, gamma motor neurons, as well as the Wrench-Large cells. This was about the first diagram. We look after the diagram 2. So this is the second diagram which you need to know. So as you can see in the diagram, this is known as the ventral commissure. If this is the ventral aspects of the spinal cord, if this is the ventral aspects, it is known as the ventral commissure fibers, and here there is dorsal commissure fibers. Here there is ventral commissure fibers and dorsal commissure fibers. So on the ventral aspects you can see the ventral commissure fibers present on the spinal cord near the central canal. After that, the spinal cord, transverse section of spinal cord, has an arm as well as leg. It has an arm as well as leg. It has an arm as well as leg kind of structure. And here you can see the anterior lateral system. There is posterior spinocerebellar center, anterior spinocerebellar center. You can see this posterior spinocerebellar center as well as the anterior spinocerebellar center. You can also see fascicularis gracilis, 2 in number, and fasciculus cuneatus, 2 in number. Cuneatus 2 in number, fasciculus gracilis. It can be also called as gracilis fasciculae or fasciculus gracilis. Both mean the same. So fasciculus gracilis are 2 in number, which are present on the medial side, and on the lateral side you can see cuneatus fasciculus present on the lateral side. In the diagram you can also see the posterior white column, anterior white column, lateral white column. So posterior white column, anterior white column, lateral white column. It is named so because this is on the ventral side. We are seeing the cross section of the spinal cord on the ventral side. So this is the second diagram. Now we'll look after the third diagram. So this is the third diagram. As I had mentioned in the previous diagram, you can see the posterior spinocerebellar cells. You can see the anterior spinocerebellar cells. So the anterior spinocerebellar cells mainly contains the unconscious kinesthetic touch impulse. So the anterior spinocerebellar mainly consists of the unconscious kinesthetic touch impulse. There is lateral column pathways also. There is ventral part also. In the lateral pathway, it mainly conveys for pain as well as temperature. Remember both of this, it's very important. Ventral side is mainly meant for crude touch. Ventral VC, Vice Chancellor. So remember it as VC. VC is mainly meant for crude touch. LP, Louis Philippe. So LP is lateral, which conveys the pain and temperature. Lateral usually conveys the pain and temperature, whereas the anterior spinocerebellar tract conveys or contains the unconscious kinesthetic. Kinesthetic is nothing but movement in the a movement with a sensation. So kinesthetic is nothing but movement with the sensation of the movements, touch, impulses. So this was about the third diagram. Hope you have understood the first, second and third diagram. These three diagrams are a very important diagram, and it's better if you know all the nucleus present in this diagram. Hope you have liked the video. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. So in the next video we'll study about the dorsal column pathway, one of the very important 10 mark usually asked for exam. Either they'll ask dorsal column pathway or anterior lateral pathway from the ascending types. In both of these two questions, one question is mandatory with some clinical aspects. So hope you have liked this video. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.